The Democrats went up against the art of the deal president, and Trace, they left with nothing. They got nothing out of this deal. It's the same starting point as when we began the government shutdown, except now we have carnage with the American people losing their jobs or not having their paychecks fulfilled or losing millions or billions in the economy. And I think they were perfectly content with this. The only leverage that Democrats had in this battle was the pain and suffering of the American people. And they are on record saying just that they were totally fine with using pain and suffering of the American people to try to get a political message across. And it's kind of like scratching an itch with a razor blade, Trace. I guess you get your message across or you accomplish what you set out to do, but at what cost? They didn't care. So the midterm ads write themselves. This is the totality and legacy of Chuck Schumer's tenure in the United States Senate. Now he has completely lost his foothold. The Republicans have won. They come out stronger on this. And I also have to praise Speaker Mike Johnson, who came out and said, we just wanted an extension of the Democrats' Biden-era CR for a few weeks so that we could continue our budget negotiations. That's all we wanted. And yet Democrats would not come and meet us at the table to have a conversation. The Democrats were perfectly content using pain and suffering of the American people to accomplish absolutely nothing. And I hope Republicans are sitting down right now, writing out their midterm messaging.
And it's a good point, Luke Ball, because I tend to believe that politicians, people who are very heavy in politics, believe that everything they hear on social media is gospel, and that everything they hear in Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York is gospel, and it's not. And so when you have Bernie Sanders saying, oh, we should all get on this socialism train because this is the future of the Democratic Party, it sounds to me like the people I talk to say that is a very big mistake. What do you think about that, Luke?
Well, there's a coup happening in the Democrat Party, and if the moderates are upset about it, their silence is complicit in allowing this to take over because the energy is behind Mamdani. This is a bellwether for the rest of the nation, as goes New York, as goes California, so goes the rest of the nation for the Democrats. They are allowing this to happen. You saw some of the more moderates, even within the state of New York, allowing this rise without speaking out against it, some of them saddling right up beside Mamdani and endorsing him, others that were just kind of, quiet on the sidelines, but speak now or forever hold your peace, Democrats. The Democrats seem to be about 2 elections away from strapping Karl Marx to a defibrillator, waking him up and running him at the top of a ballot somewhere. That's the direction they're trending. They're not trending more moderate. They're trending further and further to the left. And I would have imagined that like a year after the election, they would have come up with some policy position, some game plan, some national leader at the Democrat level. But they have done none of that. And they have allowed this vacuum to form. And the wackadoodles in that far left socialist vein of the party have taken up all of the energy and are dragging that party further and further to the left.
Does not mean, which not to say that the Republicans need to go on defense, Luke Ball.
No, they need to be on full court press offense to make sure that they continue moving the ball down the field as we head to the midterm elections. If they get off the message on the economy, if they are allowed to be distracted because the Democrats are throwing shiny objects out there, then they will get off message and they won't actually deliver on the American people's promises or the promises they made to the American people. Jim Jordan loves to say this phrase, just go do what you said you were going to do when you were on the campaign trail. When you said on the campaign trail you were going to lower taxes, go do it. When you said you were going to make things more affordable and focus on the economy, just go and fulfill those promises. It's not that hard to go up to Congress and actually do some of these things, but they get sucked into the system and they like to compromise back and forth. So Republicans, actually do what you promised.